Eminent Domain. I think
we can talk about that right now.
Yeah, I think we can sneak in Eminent Domain.
Okay, we're going to talk about Eminent Domain.
All right.
Eminent Domain.
You're so funny because you're like, let's get through Eminent Domain real quick so we can get to some music.
I wanted to play
late
some music
on Saturday night. Okay, well, we'll get through Eminent Domain real quick.
Okay.
You researched it, right?
Yeah. Since I had been looking into Kickstarter games for a long time, it's impossible to look at Kickstarter board games and not see Eminent Domain. It's one of the most backed projects on there, and it was interesting. I really started looking into it more when I played Race for the Galaxy.
Yes.
Because I was like, this looks like a similar game. And I know we have talked about it to death, about you saying that it's nowhere near the same thing. And a lot of people, at least at first glance, it looks like it's near the same game. Mm-hmm. But I guess it's not. I actually ended up getting it for my Secret Santa gift from the Board Game Geek community. My Secret Santa over there, along with Battlestar Galactica.
Impressive Secret Santa.
Yeah, very impressive. And we got it to the table as soon as we could, and it's done well for us. We've played it quite a bit.
I think for me, not to cut you off, but it feels like what I'm trying to describe with Small World is similar for Eminent Domain. Like it's not this beef-tastic game, but it's delightful. Yeah. It's just a nice game. It's not overly like, okay, I'm conquering everything. I wish it went on for years and years because I like to have a huge sort of layout of things. Yeah. But it's not. It's just a good-sized game.
I'm with you on that. When I play Eminent Domain, I'm like, this game feels like it should go on a little bit longer.
Right.
Because I got this going on. I want it to go on for about a couple more miles. Whereas I got like 5 things down. I want like 30. But don't have time to do all that.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's kind of a race against time.
Definitely.
Time being
those decks.
Other people.
Oh yeah.
Playing the cards.
And it's such a pickle because you like that playing after someone thing gets everybody to going after similar things, right?
Yeah.
Trying to align their selections, which tends to bring the decks down pretty quick.
It does.
So if we're all colonizing, then we're all picking colony cards, and before you know it, the colony deck's out. You know? It's really hard to be the one military warfare guy among a bunch of colonizing people because you never get to buddy up, you know?
Yeah, you don't have anybody really helping you out, giving you more ships and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think we've played it enough for me to really get a feel of how I want to play the game. Like, I don't have a set strategy. I do go for certain things, but I mean, I don't have like an ascension. I have a specific path that I want to go down.
I've gotten myself Eminent Domain pretty much, you know, like I abandoned completely the victory point chips.
I did for as long as I didn't start picking those up until a couple games ago.
Mm-hmm.
Before I was heavy into research or heavy into planets, or just like a little mix between the two. What else can you do?
Right.
But I did pretty much abandon the trade until Bo started pulling off like 30 of the little chips every game. I was like, okay, I need to do something about this because every time she's trading, I'm missing out on something.
Right.
So I felt like maybe I should pick up some of those.
She and Cody do that together, and it's such a ridiculous thing because if the 4 of us are playing, it's going to be you and I not doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The techs get real beefy real quick. Putting them into your card, or into your hand, putting the cards into your hand as opposed to like, you know, discarding out.
Yeah.
That's a nice change.
It's very nice, and we played incorrectly the first couple of games.
Yeah.
Because we didn't know that we were supposed to put them directly into our hand, which is a big difference. And I'm pretty fond of the game. It's a nice game.
That doesn't... I keep cutting you off. And
go ahead. You always do. Which is
know,
how this
right?
friendship works.
That's totally how it works. And I feel bad, which I think makes me a good person.
Okay.
being raised Catholic, that's how it works.
Okay.
So, I think it makes 100% sense that you would like a game that's similar to Race for the Galaxy that's a deck builder.
Yes.
Like,
That's true.
if
Very
Race for the
fair.
Galaxy was a deck builder, maybe you'd like it more.
That's true.
Because there's something that draws you to those deck building games. And it's funny how many of them we've played together because
That's true.
you enjoy them.
I buy games and then don't even realize that they're deck builders until I start playing them.
Right?
Like, I didn't realize that Eminent Domain was. I mean, I probably had read it, but I didn't think about it at all. Arcana, I didn't realize was a deck builder.
Right?
I knew Ascension was, but
It's just funny. It's just funny. I
it
like
just
it.
seemed to fall into my lap.
I think Eminent Domain would be my game that I would use as a gateway for these kinds of games, strategy, designer games. It's nice enough, light enough, not overwhelming, that, easy enough to teach. I think it's a good gateway drug.
I'd say so. And I
definitely
think it's
worth
one
it.
that people will like.
Well, there's a reason it was so huge on Kickstarter.
Yeah.
I think people bought it. The concept.
Yes, I understand what you
Clearly the game. Clarify for the folks at home here.
Yeah.
Or at the office dicking around trying not to work right now.
Yeah. What else is there to say about Eminent Domain?
It's still pretty new to us.
Yeah.
That's only been a few months, but we've played it enough that it's worth talking about.
Yeah, it's one of those that I'd really like to get out there because we do a lot of games, simply put.
Every week?
Yes, every week we do games, but it's one of those that isn't on everybody's radar.
Yeah.
So it's one of the ones that I'd really like to put out there, versus something like Catan that everybody who has played board games has probably played Catan at least once.
Right.
Because it's most people's gateway, as far as I know.
Yeah.
At least in my universe of board gamers, Catan is usually where people start. But games that people have played, it's nice to review them because then people know how I feel about them. But I'd like to introduce people to stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm keen on getting this up and out.
I'm going to say, I think 2012, starting out here, most of the games we're reviewing are ones that are new to you. New to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Because even in my, gay board gamers group, like, if I poll 4 people, any 4 people, I can almost guarantee that 3 of them have never played Ascension, 12 Doctors, Small World, Eminent Domain. Maybe one person's played them. Because they are more fringe games at the moment. So I think they're good enough to bump into the mainstream. But it's not necessarily, again, like, the hardcore gamer in me doesn't enjoy Eminent Domain that much. But when I'm not that hardcore gamer, I'm like, done. I'm in an Eminent Domain mood. I got an hour and a half of brain energy, and then I'm done. And it's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, when I need to settle in for a long winter's night, I don't pull out Eminent Domain. We need Game of Thrones card game. 2.5 years.
Yeah.
Done. And don't play that kill everybody card, because it ends it real quick.
Yeah.
Or prevents it from ending, and it makes me mad. Anyway, so yeah, do we have anything else about Eminent Domain?
I think that's pretty good.
Okay, perfect.
Alright, well, I'm gonna play a song while we enter my house.
Okay.